Hey guys, I missed my bus, so I want to take this time. This is Memorial Day weekend to put a little commentary about what's going on with the George Floyd um, comments and remembrances that are going. I know at least one celebrity went on and said, George Floyd should still be alive. And, um, well, yeah, a lot of people should still be alive, but George Floyd, unfortunately, doesn't fit that category. Um, Now, I'm not saying that he should have died a violent death. So before people go off on that tangent, no, I'm not thinking that. But I am looking deeper into who George Floyd was, and he was living a life of criminal activity. He was involved in a lot of criminal activity. He was involved in a robbery. He was also, he did drugs, illegal drugs. So those are predictors of higher mortality rates. There are higher mortality rates among people who are involved in criminal activity and people who are incarcerated and that sort of thing. So based on those statistics, he probably could have died or would have died a violent death. My question is, where were those people, or where are those people who are celebrating his life now? Where were they? Because it's the same system. When there could have been opportunities for people like George Floyd, who lived in government projects. He lived in the government projects. He grew up in the government projects. And he didn't even he was intelligent, but he didn't get the necessary academic strength that he needed. He didn't get the necessary develop his academic ability, more than likely because of the neighborhood and the lack of opportunities that he had. But he wanted to be a judge. No one talks about that. He wanted to be a judge. In elementary school, he wrote that I want to be a judge. He admired judges. Who was there to guide him along the way, to mentor him? And he used all that was at his disposal. He was physical. He knew sports, so he played on the football team. He played on the basketball team, represented them. But again, those academics, his weak academics, he couldn't even get accepted into college. So now you see the opportunities narrowing for him. And growing up in the projects, family life is not as structured as people outside of it very often. And he talked about one roof, one family. Some of the same things that these Republican conservatives are talking about. They're saying that leads to the instability. And he, as a little child, as a young man, was trying to fix that. People knew him for saying one roof, one family. Very advanced, but he didn't have the academic ability to go to college and develop those ideas and develop those schools and develop those skills so that he could be a true leader. Told you I'm outside. Planes flying ahead. So what did he have to do? Yes, he ended up in a life of crime because those are the things that exist. Those were the ample choices. He didn't have a lot of choices when it came to academics, but he had ample choices when it came to being involved in criminal activity. And that's where he ended up. And that's how he died. He had been to prison. The school to prison pipeline, he was right in there. And these people that are saying Black Lives Matter and raising money for Black Lives Matter, what have they done to prevent another George Floyd from happening? What have they done? Have they built, did they use any of those dollars to build centers in large communities near projects or anywhere in the community where young people can go and get the enrichment and the fundamental education that they need, because they often miss out? I'm generally in the loop for kids with housing instability because I see them missing out every day and no one cares. People's alarms go off when they do something wrong. Oh, now everybody cares. You've got kids right now sleeping in hotels, sleeping in tents, sleeping in cars, missing out on education. A perfect predictor, there's also something that says foster care and housing instability is a pipeline to prison and homelessness. Who cares? Nobody's even bothering them. But now when something happens on the end of the spectrum, everybody is up in arms, and Black Lives Matter. And they're raising money for what? Are they investing back in these communities that they're raising money for? No, they raise millions of dollars and they build a mansion for themselves. They're not even trying to break the cycle. It doesn't make sense. So yes, George Floyd could have died. George Floyd, for all the information that we have, George Floyd would not be alive today. And the many George Floyds that are not alive today, because we aren't investing enough in preventing another George Floyd from happening. So I have to say that George Floyd, he was a hero. He was a hero in elementary school when he said he wanted to be a judge. He was a hero for his community when he said, one family, one roof. He was an intelligent man whose life got cut short because no one intervened and stepped in to help. So all the people that Black Lives Matter, I want to put this out. So for all the people that say Black Lives Matter, until you put your money where your mouth is, just be quiet. This is Lit. Talk to you soon.